What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. We're here for another Dynasty trade review show. So as always, 10 trades were submitted into our Discord that we have pulled and are going to review for you guys here today, giving you guys our thoughts, our feelings, everything in between. As always, this would not be a Dynasty trade review show without my co-host MFGDs. So let's get him into the building and let's start talking some Dynasty trades. War, how we doing today?
You know them, you love them. It's MFGDs.
It's MFGDs in the blood, flesh, and everything else. I don't know. I was trying to go somewhere. It didn't work. But look, man, got 10 trades. Let's not waste time. Let's just get right into it. Usually we have the issues. No issues today. The trade pulled up immediately. 12 teams, super flex, PPR, and start 10. Now, Onion Knights is the guy who submitted this trade. He says he leads his division right now in fantasy football. And he has Pat Mahomes and Joe Flacco as his quarterbacks. So he was getting nervous about that QB2 spot with the Joe Burrow stuff over the last couple of weeks. And he trades away Jayden Daniels, who's obviously dealing with an injury himself, and a 2026 second round pick to go get Jalen Hurts to shore up that quarterback 2 spot with Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts the rest of the way. I got to ask you, obviously it's a trade here that's made for need. He feels like he's not going to have Joe Flacco for much longer. You are paying a little bit of an extra premium, I think, to trade away an injured asset to buy an asset that is currently playing. Are you okay with this? Is it an overpay? How do you feel about this type of move?
This is the season to go for it, man. And I feel like this is what he's doing. If I was in the same situation as him, I would feel the same way. And it seems like that's going to come to fruition because it seems like you might actually get Joe Burrow returning this upcoming Sunday. So yeah, you definitely need to secure that QB2 spot. You're leading your division. I mean, go for it. I mean, what else can there to say? You could think about the details later. I mean, this is Dynasty. Actually, you got to think about the details now. But I think this is fine. I imagine that the other team is rebuilding, so you're gonna buy injury. We always personally, and I'm pretty sure you would have attempted this too. Definitely would have attempted if I was the other guy to get a first in Jayden Daniels, like just to even see or a second or 2 seconds or something. Because I would have just been like, hey, look, man, I'm buying this injured guy. You're leading the division. Come on, man, you got to give me a little bit more than that, man. Like you want to, because think about it, you leading a division, your QB2 is about to go back to a bench role. Like how bad? And I gotta do this all the time. How bad do you really want to win this thing? Like, do you want one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football, Jalen Hurts? Okay, then I'm gonna need a little bit more than a second round pick with Jayden Daniels, man. Or you can go shop elsewhere. I'll play hardball.
Yeah, you're trying to sniff the desperation. You're trying to see how desperate they are to try and win. I get it. You're trying to ask for more, but I think to me, like if I'm looking at this trade, it does make sense for both parties to me, assuming you're, a retooler, rebuilder with trying to get Jayden Daniels. I think Jayden Daniels should probably still be valued higher than Jalen Hurts in Dynasty right now. So, or at least in the same breath, they should be in the same tier. So I'm looking at these guys as equal assets. Maybe Jayden Daniels just for slight youth on his side. I know some people are worried about this year in Washington. Terry McLaurin was banged up. Jayden Daniels got banged up. I know some people are worried about that in itself. But you get a second thrown in on top. And then as the other team, Onion Knights, it just cost me a second to shore up the chance to go win a championship this year. It's a price I'm willing to pay, to go do it. I don't know if that second is a late one. Maybe it's a middle one. I don't know, because it's from a team that's not in this deal. As you can see, it's from Ryan. But it's the cost of admission. I'm willing to do it if it can help me go win a championship. And now with Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts and me being the number 1 team in my division, you feel like you really got a shot here. And you're right. It was made at the right time because it seems like Joe Burrow is maybe right around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you feel like you got a chance to win a championship, put those final touches on your team and just go for it, man.
Yeah. What do we always say? If you win a championship, the compensation won't matter. It will never matter if you win the championship. So let's move on to the next trade. 10-team, super flex, full PPR, tight end premium, and start 9. Now, this is a rebuilding team. Team number 1 who traded or submitted this is a rebuilding team. They said the first round pick is late and the second round pick is early. So what we're looking at is them trading away T. Higgins and Sam Darnold for for Kyler Murray, early second-round pick in 2026, and a late first-round pick in 2026. So Kyler, a late first, an early second for Darnold and T. What do you think? I know there's going to be a very polarizing player here with Kyler Murray, especially given the circumstances right now, but is this a decent deal for a rebuilding team?
This is a difficult deal for me, it's a difficult deal to do because I don't know, man. I'm high on T. Higgins, especially like if I'm getting Joe Burrow back. I'm pretty high on T. Higgins. Sam Darnold has honestly exceeded expectations because I think me and you both like had our concerns about Sam Darnold going into this thing without the KOC performance enhancer. And I would think from a stats to stats, pound for pound view of it, I think at this moment in time, Sam Darnold obviously is a more productive quarterback than Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray is on IR. He's on IR. So I mean, you're getting an asset that's playing well, and also people are also worried about him turning back in the other direction right now too. For some reason, I just
It's because you saw the game last week against the Rams where at the end of the Vikings tenure, he played the Rams and the Lions and he crumbled when he was under pressure. And then he plays the Rams last week and he has a pumpkin day and it just wasn't great. So people are like, uh-oh, is that the Sam Darnold when he's under pressure? It's like, is he a bad team merchant? Can he beat these bad teams that can't apply pressure? And then when he gets under pressure, does Sam Darnold start seeing ghosts again?
Yeah. Look, man, I have a feeling we're going to be on the opposite ends of this deal. I like the Sam Darnold T. Higgins side, mainly because of T. Higgins. I could talk myself into Darnold and Kyler Murray, but T. Higgins, his ceiling and floor week to week is just so like it goes back and forth, man. You could get a 30-point game from T one week, a 10-point game the next week. And I mean, for the most part, as long as the quarterback situation is right and he's healthy, T. Higgins will give you more value than a first round pick. So especially a late one. So I mean, I think I'm going to go to Sam Darnold T. Higgins side, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an interesting trade overall just because you could look at it a whole bunch of different ways. And I agree, Darnold and Higgins is the most enticing side of the deal, I think, from a production standpoint right now today. And that's pretty obvious. But I have a hard time right now. You know me. Like earlier in the year, I kind of started turning my nose on Kyler Murray. Remember? Like I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not believing it anymore. But here's the thing. Sometimes I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, War. Sometimes the Dynasty community will react to players and the market moves. And all of a sudden, I find myself back in on players. And Kyler Murray is one of these players right now where I was selling Kyler Murray. I was done. At his current ADP, at his cost, I'm out. Now they have sent him to the Shadow Realm. People have banished Kyler Murray. And I was on Keep Trade Cut the other day, scrolling around looking for some players that were in a similar ballpark to do a poll for the channel. And I find myself scrolling down the quarterback rankings, and we get to like QB 26, 27, 28, somewhere around that range. Does that say Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray all the way down here. Kyler's a buy, I think, if Kyler Murray is at that rank, like in that low. Because, okay, so now let me talk about why I would say that. He's being banished. And I think about Kyler Murray in comparison to the NFL. He is the starting quarterback on at least 10 teams, I think, right now. You look at the 26 quarterback class. There is maybe, and that's a very strong maybe, one quarterback that I would prefer over Kyler Murray. So now I'm looking around the league and I'm like, he could be the starter in Las Vegas. He could be the starter in Cleveland. He could still be the starter in Arizona. He could be the starter for the Jets. He could be the starter, for all of these teams. And there's maybe one quarterback that I like in this quarterback class that could be a starter somewhere immediately day one. Kyler Murray is going to have a job, no matter if people like it or not. He's going to be a starting quarterback. So at quarterback 26, 27, it makes a ton of sense to go buy him at cheap costs. I floated around Kyler Murray for a second round pick in a lot of leagues. Like, can I just throw a second out there and get Kyler Murray and see what happens? Didn't get a lot of bites. There was people who were like, I think this is probably where his value's at, but I'm gonna hold. There's people who did that, but I didn't get any bites on a buy. I think people should be trying to target Kyler Murray for the low right now. And at minimum, you don't have to have him on your team next year. Just wait for him to get a starting job again, and then everybody's like, oh shit, Kyler Murray's the starting quarterback. Now flip Kyler Murray for a first. Just at the minimum, do that. So I think it's savvy to target a guy like Kyler Murray. I do prefer Darnold right now to Kyler, but that's just where the market is at. Higgins for a late first and an early second, it's fine. This deal is fine. I think it's a fair deal. The compensation probably adds up. There's more risk on the pick and Kyler Murray side, but I think you're making the right move where if any of these assets right here, Kyler, Higgins, or Darnold, if any of those players are going to see some value insulation over the next 12 months, it's Kyler Murray. Darnold isn't going to see value insulation that much. Higgins won't. It's probably just Kyler. And then the other, like the draft capital, obviously that's going to insulate in value as we get closer to the NFL draft. So I think you have the right mindset of trying to trade for the pieces that are going to see value increases, and you're selling safe floor upside pieces in Darnold and Higgins right now.
Yeah, all that's well and good. All that's well and good until the New York Jets trade for Kyler. Then it's like, even if he has a starting job, it's not really like, starting job. So, I mean,
even if that happens, people are going to paint he has Garrett Wilson, Kyler Murray and Garrett Wilson. Like, people are going to paint that picture.
I'll give you that.
And I'm not saying that you have to believe that Kyler Murray is going to be an elite quarterback. I'm just saying you have to believe that people are going to get their head out of their ass because they have Buffalo Wild Wing takes every single week where they sit there with these microwave reactions and Kyler Murray gets put on IR or Kyler Murray gets hurt, and all of a sudden Kyler Murray is benched forever. He's going to play baseball. That's the Buffalo Wild Wing ass takes that you hear every single week. So yeah, Kyler Murray, people are thinking it's dead and gone right now. Once they realize he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, it is what it is. You got to react.
Well, I must have mango habanero sauce running through my veins because the whole time I was sitting there thinking like, no, maybe he'll go back and play baseball.
God damn it. This man might as well sign your ass up for the Blazing Challenge. Let's get on to the next trade here. 12-team super flex, full PPR, half-point tight end premium, and start 11. We currently have the number 1 seed right now for team number 1. So the number 1 seed trades away Garrett Wilson, who's hurt, Jayden Reed, who's hurt, designated to come back from IR right now, and a 27 first-round pick. I'm assuming they think that's going to be late if they're the number 1 seed right now, and they get Rashee Rice, Keon Coleman, and a 27 third. You good over there, man? As the Buffalo Wild Wings taking you out?
Oh, no, you're going to find out why I'm laughing in a second.
All right. So here we go, man. How do you feel about a team who's number 1 trading away Garrett Wilson, Jayden Reed, and a first for Rice, Keon, and a third?
Well, I look at this deal mostly as Rice because behind the curtains, guys, Andrew left our group chat, so he didn't get to see what I said about Keon Coleman during the during the Bills and Texans game the other day. I said at this point, Keon Coleman might as well be NLE Chopper. That's what I said because he's just on the team to just say stupid stuff, do stupid stuff, and look stupid. So just call him Keon NLE Chopper Coleman. He's getting healthy scratches. Like I hate to say it because we never want to doom a young man's career so early. But me and Andrew kind of told you that Keon Coleman was gonna be, just a Timu Kenny Galladay.
In all, I mean, you're not wrong. In all fairness, we could not predict, would not predict, cannot predict off the field stuff. And it does feel like a lot of this has been off of the field issues, not showing up to meetings, shit like that. Like, brother, get it together. At the end of the day, we can't predict that stuff. But I'll tell you what, the play on the football field was not good before this either. And that's something we can predict. And I just never was a Coleman guy. And so far, the bigger picture that we've been seeing with Keon Coleman through 2 seasons now is that he's not really living up to be the guy that the Bills wanted. And that's just the hard truth of it. I think the Bills might be looking at this and saying, God damn it, why did we trade back out of the first round and give the Chiefs Xavier Worthy, give the Chargers the option to draft Lad McConkey? Why did we do that shit and draft Keon Coleman? Whatever, hindsight's 2020. I just think sometimes this can be predicted, and Keon Coleman, this has been, I think, predicted for a long time for us. So I agree with you. Long way around to come back to, I'm viewing this really as Rashee Rice for Garrett Wilson, Jayden Reed, and a first, because the 27 third, don't Don't really care. It's a piece. That's all I can say for it right now. Keon Coleman, it's a piece, but realistically, how different is Keon Coleman and that 27th third? Would you rather have the 27th third than Keon right now?
They might not be sitting at the same table, but they definitely eating in the same restaurant.
And I think people don't want to admit that right now. It feels, at least in Buffalo, and this could be overreaction. This could be microwave Buffalo Wild Wings takes. I get it. I just said it. This could be what we're doing. But 2 weeks in a row, healthy scratch, the trends beforehand, it feels like the Keon Coleman experience could be quickly coming to an end here in Buffalo.
I mean, I was about to call him Keon Claypool, but honestly, that would be disrespectful to Chase Claypool because
Claypool was nice
Claypool
for one season.
Yeah, Keon Coleman ain't even did that, man. I think I could give the slight edge because let's make no mistake here. Rashee Rice is the best asset in this deal. But I got to give the slight edge to the Garrett Wilson, Jayden Reed, and the first side because, I mean, those assets are equal to a greater.
It's a lot of value.
Yeah. Jayden Reed, like nobody. Well, I suppose somebody dumb will do it, but somebody might trade you Jayden Reed for Keon Coleman in the third because they're just frustrated that Jayden Reed ain't came back yet. But I ain't doing it.
No, I was trying to buy low on Jayden Reed in a couple leagues the other day. Trying to flip like Josh Downs for Jayden Reed, trying to flip, Troy Franklin's for Jayden Reed, just see what I could do to try and make it happen. All kind of guys in the same tier, but I think he's a good buy low right now. I think the Green Bay offense is really missing Jayden Reed lately. I think it's showing. They kind of need that short yardage layup guy who has that yak potential. I just think he's important to this offense, and I know a lot of people are frustrated with his role where, they're like, we want to see him be an 80% snap, a 90% snap type of wide receiver, and I agree, it would be great for fantasy football, but the role that he has there makes Green Bay better. And so I think they're just missing him right now. And I agree with you. I mean, long story short with this deal, there's a lot of value on Wilson, Reed, and a first. And if we're looking at the trade for value, that's the side I want. Now, if we're looking at the trade, we don't necessarily have the context of where that 27 first is. I'm assuming it's late because it's yours. I'm assuming, but I get you wanted to go get Rice to help you win right now. You're the number 1 seed. You're trying to win right now. What did we just say on a couple trades ago? If you win, it doesn't matter because if you're the champion, it doesn't matter. You're not going to miss the first round pick if you're the champ. And so I get it, but value is on the Wilson, the Reed, and the 27 first side. You probably overpaid by a little bit. I think, and maybe this is me just being optimistic, it feels like this deal should have been able to get done taking Reed out, taking Keon in the third out, and just make it Garrett for the late, or Garrett in the late first for Rice. Does that feel fair to you? Garrett in a late first for Rice?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
And so then you don't have to deal with the Keon Coleman experience and you got to keep Jayden Reed. So it's a small overpay, nothing crazy, but I think value-wise, I'm going the Wilson side. I get it for trading for Rice. Let's go on to this next trade. 12-team, super flex, full PPR, a quarter point per carry, and start 10. Now, Onion Knight, back again with his second trade of the video, says they're in a very tight race for the bye week right now. There's like 4 teams right now who are very close in rate, points for and records. And they're all trying to fight for that bye week. So he traded away Cam Skattebo, Luther Burden, and a 27 second. Obviously, all pieces that aren't fully helping you win today to get that bye week, but you get TreVeyon Henderson and a 3rd round pick. We've kind of had a whole up and down roller coaster with TreVeyon Henderson this year. It was bad, and the last couple of weeks, it has been so good that TreVeyon Henderson has been scoring. I think we're up, 7 touchdowns in 2 weeks, or 8 touchdowns in 2 weeks for TreVeyon Henderson. He has been nuclear for fantasy football. How do you feel about a trade like this, where Skattebo has kind of proven before he got injured that he was going to be a producer? Burden, I think you and I both like him as an upside guy long term, and a 2nd round pick. Is that a lot for Henderson, or is that the right price right now for a running back like TreVeyon?
That's the right price right now. Honestly, I think Onion Knight found the guy who's worried about Ramondre Stevenson coming back. Worried about, because it's very surprising that he was able to get TreVeyon Henderson at this price at this time coming off of the games that he just played. You're basically rolling the dice on getting a Jahmyr Gibbs type running back for that price. And here's some tough truths, man. Cam Skattebo, unbelievable talent. But I have a feeling that Cam Skattebo is going to be the type of guy that's going to burn bright, but is probably not going to burn very long. And so he's already lost time off of his career with the injury. So now we have to see how he's going to respond to that. But I don't necessarily think that he's the type of guy that needs to have blazing speed or anything like that to be productive. So, I mean, his stuff is just more sheer will and power and things like that, horsepower. Luther Burden, I'm going to tell you what I heard somebody else say the other day. Somebody told me that when it's all, and I said this before, so I'm going to give myself credit first. When it's all said and done, Luther Burden's going to be the best wide receiver on that team. He's going to be the best wide receiver on that team because every opportunity he gets, he got it. And I don't know what the deal is with Rome Odunze. I'm like 100% sure that the issue's going to be fixed, but I don't think he has the yips. He just got alligator arms, man. Like sometimes he just don't catch the ball in key moments. Like that a guy drafted at his status and his caliber where he was drafted needs to catch the ball in those moments and consistently. And whenever Luther Burden gets a chance to get on the field, Luther Burden not only catches the ball, but he also makes a play. Sometimes he's dragging people. So just two levels of beast. But I'm surprised that he got TreVeyon for that price. Because TreVeyon is trending up. And you usually don't see somebody get traded for close to a fair deal, when somebody's ascending. So
yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I can think of here is somebody held TreVeyon at the beginning of the season, got scared, feels like that's the norm, and saw, Stevenson injured for a couple weeks and said, I got to sell high now because I'm scared that Stevenson's going to come back and resume the role, and Henderson's going to be a bench guy again. I understand the scare there with people, and I've tried to reaffirm over the last couple of weeks that yes, Stevenson is going to come back, and yes, Stevenson is going to have a role. Both of those things are true, but it can also be true that TreVeyon Henderson has earned more opportunities and can still be the main engine in this offense with a complementary Ramondre Stevenson. All of those things can be true right now. It's a matter of what we think, Vrabel is going to do. And I get it. He's been the wild card because Vrabel has been the guy that's been so hard to trust, I think, when it came to giving rookies opportunities. But we've heard Josh McDaniel, we've heard Vrabel, we've heard a lot of these guys compliment Henderson over the last couple of weeks. I mean, when you score 7 touchdowns in 2 games, yeah, guys, coaches, teammates, people's eyes are going to start getting wide. Oh shit, we might have a guy here. We all kind of knew that, Vrabel. I don't know why you didn't put him on the field because we all kind of thought you had a guy in the first place. But it took an injury. Henderson's on the field. He's performing well. He's got a great matchup this week against Cincinnati. Stevenson will be back, but I think it's still, TreVeyon Henderson league winner type of season right now. That's kind of how I felt this was going to work out over the last little while, and it's coming to fruition. That said, I agree with a lot of what you said about Burden and Skattebo. Skattebo is a player that I think is very productive. I think he's a very fun player to root for. I am worried. About Skattebo and that injury. That injury is the injury that we saw Chris Godwin suffer last year. And he suffered it last year, and look, we're already almost to the fantasy playoffs, and we haven't even seen Godwin step back onto the football field at all, really. He came back for one game, and then he re-aggravated something, whatever. Like, Skattebo plays a tougher position than Godwin does, a more physical position than Godwin does. His play style is way more physical than Godwin's is. So I'm worried about Skattebo from a long-term perspective. I don't like holding these short window running backs like Cam, who were already kind of long shots to hit in the first place, a 4th-round rookie. The coach that really loved him is no longer in the building. Like, I have a hard time holding that guy. Burden, I really do like him as a buy. I've been trying to buy him over the last couple of weeks as we approach these trade deadlines, and it hasn't worked, but he's a player that I really like buying right now. At the end of the day, though, Henderson's the best player in the deal. And if you are a team that is fighting for a bye week, Henderson gives you by far the best chance at doing that right now. And if you can get that bye week, the data supports you winning a championship much more. I just ran data not too long ago. Teams who get a bye week in the fantasy football playoffs have about a 30% chance better at winning the championship than teams that don't hit the bye. And it's because you don't have to play that first week, right? Like, it's pretty obvious. But when you have a physical number of 30% chance at winning your championship, that is significantly bigger than everybody else in your league. And if you play in a league that plays for money, first, second, or third place, all of those get money, your chance at winning money goes to like 85% because you're automatically at worst in the third place game. So, I mean, I get it. That bye week is very important. I think people should take those bye weeks seriously. And Henderson is the player that I think is the best for this. You get the point per carry too, which helps, or not a full point per carry, the quarter point per carry, which just helps a tiny bit. I'm going to take Henderson here, man. Like I said, he has been eating. He's been feasting. You got to run with the hot hand right now. And the talented player. We believed he was the best player in the deal in the pre-draft process.
Yeah. And I mean, people who worried about Stevenson coming back, it's about point windows. Stevenson, you're probably still going to get 10 to 15 points and 15 points in a good day with Stevenson there. And the difference between Stevenson being there and Stevenson not being there is Henderson's window without Stevenson is like 25 to 30 points.
Yeah.
Stevenson there, his window probably is like 15 to 20 points, which is still damn good. Damn good. I mean, like I said, I think it's a copycat league. Every team's trying to go with the Sonic and Knuckles thing. I mean, you're great. You're doing great if you got Stevenson on the team. If you're doing great if you got Henderson, too many sons. If you got Henderson on the team, and if you got Stevenson there as, you know, a person to hold down your flex spot regularly, that's fine too. But Stevenson as the running back too, that's probably not going to be realistic for you going forward after Henderson's performances. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Look, Stevenson he's going to be back this week, it sounds like, and Henderson is still a top 10 running back in my weekly rankings. I think Henderson will give me a top 10 performance this week.
There's a huge problem if Stevenson comes back and he's getting more carries and more opportunities than Henderson. That'll be a huge problem.
That's the risk, I think, is if Vrabel does that idiotic shit and Henderson gets 7 touches this week or 8 touches this week and Stevenson has 15 to 20, brother, I'm showing up to Mike Vrabel's house with a picket sign, fire Vrabel, fire. I'm doing it, and I know they're winning right now. Nobody cares, but I'm going in there, whatever. Because, like I said, TreVeyon has been feasting. But the good news for you guys at home is if you want to feast this week as well, it is feast week over on Underdog. Now, this is for the week of Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you're getting some good food in your bellies as well. But right now, you can eat over on Underdog because they got promos every single day in the app for this week. Now, on Tuesday, you get a Steph Curry gimme pick. So you want to watch some basketball? Freebie right there. 50% NBA profit boost on Wednesday for that Lakers game. And on Thanksgiving, supercharged entries all Thanksgiving Day for the NFL slate. Now, you guys only get these by using promo code LEAGUEFFB. New customers who sign up and play $5, they get $100 in bonus funds. Now, that's good for you because if you play the $5 and get that free $100 in your pocket, you can take advantage of all of those plays that we had there for Feast Week. So like I said, if you want to feast yourself, just like TreVeyon has been the last couple of weeks, do me the favor and sign up using promo code LEAGUEFFB over on Underdog. All right, so we got the next trade here. 12-team Superflex PPR, a 0.1 point per carry. You might as well have not even added that scoring, to be honest. But 0.1 point per carry and start 11. A2G says he is an aging contender. So he trades away Travis Hunter, Bashal Tutin, and Jalen Milroe for Quinshon Judkins, Cedric Tillman, and Tony Pollard. Basically said to me, I think in the description is, it's either lose in 2026 or win in 2026, but either way, after this season, he's got to focus on 2027 because the 2026, or it's either win in 2025 or lose in 2025, because if he does either, 2026 is a lost season because his team is old. And I gotta ask you, knowing that information, how do you feel about this team? How do you feel about this trade, I guess? It's the last hoorah.
I mean, I like Quinshon Judkins a lot. This is going to be weird. I like Quinshon Judkins a lot. I have questions about Travis Hunter, but given the context of this deal, I'm a little bit confused about trading away Travis Hunter for a running back. One of them is
he's trying to win,
but he's basically admitted that he's kind of facing a rebuild or a retool. So I mean,
he says it's inevitable. No matter what, he's gonna have to rebuild at the end of the year. So you might as well win right now, is what he's saying.
I mean, so I guess it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's just that, first of all, and the thing is, I don't know if anybody else is with me. I think there's a lot of value to Bashal too.
I think a lot of people will agree with you.
I think when it's all said and done, I don't think he'll overtake Quinshon Judkins, but I think he'll do well for himself. So when I take that into consideration,
you mean Travis Etienne? You said Quinshon Judkins. Tootin will take over Quinshon Judkins.
Oh yeah. I think that he'll do Tootin to do well for himself. But I don't think. Oh no, I said it right, Drew. I said it right. I'm talking about in the rankings. I don't think Tootin to take over. Yeah, Judkins like in the rankings. But I do think he'll do well for himself, as a standalone asset, enough for you not to feel too bad about it. And even though I do have my questions and concerns about Travis Hunter, he was starting to ascend a little bit before he got injured. So, and it also seems like BTJ, it's crazy to say it's about somebody that's going to be going into their third year. He might need a change of scenery, man. He might need a change of scenery. I don't understand it. It's a very curious case, but he might need a change of scenery. I mean, we've seen crazy things in the NFL before, but I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know. I wonder, because you said you think he has the yips.
Yeah, and there was a coaching change too from last year to this year.
Yeah.
And a quarterback change from Mac Jones to Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I wonder if them even drafting Travis Hunter where they drafted him kind of is also a contributing factor to just some mental shit going on with him. In addition to Mac Jones, in addition to the coaching change. I wonder if that plays a role. Because
I thought I was your number one. It was supposed to be me.
Yes, you guys did all this to get him. I'm here.
Yeah.
So
you must view me as a number two.
Yeah. And then especially when you look and then you turn on the TV and you see a freaking Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter commercial there, buddy. But like, where's my commercial with Trevor?
Yeah.
Where's my commercial with Trevor? So I don't know, man. But I respect him trying to win now. I do think there are some question marks for what he traded away, considering what he knows he has to do. But like you said, if you're gonna try to win now, try to win now.
Yeah, look, here's my thing though. I've seen this story time and time again in my time as somebody who's been making fantasy content, Dynasty content. The guy who is hanging on by a thread. I'm still a contender. I'm old, but I'm still a contender. And then you get first round of the playoffs and boom, bounced out. See you later, first round of the playoffs. And now all of a sudden you push the chips in even further. Like, please help me contend. Oh, still got bounced in the first round. Ah, shit. Now my team is way worse than it was just 6 weeks ago at my trade deadline because I wanted to push the chips in even further. It is so risky. It is so dangerous, and it can be so detrimental to your fantasy roster by not having the ability to look your team in the mirror and say, I just don't have what it takes to win this year. That's a skill in itself in Dynasty, is being able to look your team in the face and say, this ain't the team that's going to win it all. And I know some people don't like to do that, but let me play devil's advocate. He says he has to rebuild no matter what. Whether he wins or loses, he has to rebuild, right? Who's to say that right now you say, look, I'm sneaking in right now. I'm the 5 seed, I'm the 6 seed, whatever it may be. My team's aging. I'm going to bow out of this race today. And I'm going to hit up those top 4 teams, those top 3 teams, and say, take my aging player. Take this guy. Take that guy. Give me your draft pick. Give me your young guy. You're not going to win this year. I get it. But you might actually be able to compete next year where you don't have to take the whole rebuilding 2025 season or 2026 season. And it's not guaranteed that you do well enough for yourself in 2026 that in 2027 you're ready to contend again. It could be a full rebuild, full teardown, full, I got to fix this shit. Because when you're buying assets like Tony Pollard, whose value feels like a sunk ship, it's Titanic. You have guys like Cedric Tillman who aren't difference makers. You have guys like Quinshon Judkins who I like, but like we've said, if you have to pick today between a running back and a wide receiver in a rebuild, take the wide receiver. I just don't love the idea of pushing the chips in when it feels so fragile. And I haven't got my eyes on the team, so I can't tell you whether or not the team is truly a contender or truly a fringe playoff team. But I'm just saying, that mindset of I gotta rebuild no matter what, so I might as well push the chips in, and then it just gives you more problems to fix down the road, and it's dangerous. And so I don't like doing that. I've done it before and I learned my lesson the hard way, and that's why I say it so strongly of I wouldn't do it again, of where you're like, I'm an old team that can win, I'm pushing the chips. I've done that. It sucks to fix that. So you good?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my camera.
I think it's fine now. It just skipped for me for a second, but it's good. But
Yeah, it's good
yeah,
for
I
me
mean,
too.
that's a long way around to say that I think you're playing a very risky game here, A2G, but you know the team better than us. If you really think you can win, you can win. But I think you're at risk of, being a first round exit potentially, the way that you describe it, and then looking at this and saying, why did I trade away Bashal to and who can be the starting running back for the Jags next year when ETN hits free agency and Travis Hunter, the wide receiver 1 or 2, however you want to cut it for the Jags. Like, I think you have a way of looking at this down the road and saying, damn, I shouldn't have pushed those chips in, man. Kind of regretting that trade a little bit.
Yeah. And yeah, man, I actually have a team that's aging too. Aging in our first startup season. My team's aging. But
damn.
I came to the conclusion that I have enough young guys on that team to where I could kind of ride out. And Andrew told me, like, yeah, that doesn't work in Dynasty. The tiered approach. But
here's my old guys, here's my young guys to take over. You're just trading assets. You're never gaining assets. You're just trading them within your own roster.
But see, I also didn't get what I wanted for those assets either. I was getting lowballed, so I was just like, I'm just ride it out and then see what I can do. So I'm hoping to flip one of the young assets I was able to acquire for more young assets. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, good luck, A2G. I hope you do win, because if you have to rebuild, like you said, you might as well go out winning and then rebuild afterwards. But I think it's a risky game, man. It's a risky game to me. I'm going to probably lean the Hunter, the Tootin, and the Milrow side here, given the context. Let's go to this trade. 12-team, 1 quarterback, full PPR. Both of these teams are rebuilding. And so Chris is going to be sending away A.J. Brown, a 26 first and a 27 first. 2 firsts and A.J. Brown for Malik Nabers, Jamison Williams, and a 27 second. Now, part of the context here was both teams are rebuilding. I know you're getting 2 first-round picks with A.J. Brown, but is this the deal you make as a rebuilding roster here? War. I know some of the guy who submitted it said that the other guy, Fletcher Cox, they said he runs his team like the New York Jets. Is this Jets behavior?
Yes, they're filling up the jet plane. It's going down the runway and it's in the sky. This is Jet behavior. Malik Nabers alone, let's just be honest here. Malik Nabers alone
is AJ in the 2 first?
Pretty much.
Now, let me play devil's advocate, though, because the 26 first and the 27 first are coming from Chris, who we said both teams are rebuilding. So these could be early first if he's rebuilding.
That's true. But I mean, you also got to factor in how big of an impact is Malik Nabers going to have on his team next season. So, I mean, that's something to think about, too.
Maybe. I mean, he had that late surgery. Is he going to be ready week 1?
That's true. He'll probably be fine for 26. That 27, though, by 27, that might not be a late first because the Jets just traded Malik Nabers to Chris Flores. So
fair enough.
And that's crazy that he took a shot at his league mate.
Yeah, that's insane behavior, by the way, but I get it. I think I look at this, man, and I'm going to try and play the devil's advocate here because I am taking the Nabers, the Jamison Williams, and the second round pick side.
Same.
But I can see you trying to play 4D chest here, I think. And sometimes I think that's what gets you in trouble, and that's why people might say New York Jets behavior is you're trying to play too much 4D chest. Let's say that 26 first, you're rebuilding. Nabers isn't helping you win. Let's say it's an early one. So you end up landing a guy like Jeremiah Love, Jordan Tyson. I like both of those players. 27 first. Let's say he improves. Maybe not, full-blown contender, but let's say he improves. He's a middle of the pack, 27 first. I still love those 27 mid-round picks. Cam Coleman. Guys like Ryan Williams, potentially. There's tons of quarterbacks. Dylan Raiola. I guess this is a 1 QB league, so it'll be less than, there won't be the quarterbacks there, but still love those picks. A.J. Brown doesn't feel like he helps you as a rebuilder, but if you were flipping A.J. or your plan is to flip A.J., we can start making some arguments here. If you can get, let's just say, A.J. Brown, if you get one more first for A.J., and it's 3 firsts, it's 2 of those, an early 26, a mid 27 first, and another first round pick. Are we starting to look at this like, okay, I think I still prefer Nabers, but I get it because now you're liquid.
It definitely will make me feel a little bit better about it. Would you move an A.J. Brown for a package of somebody like Troy Franklin in a second?
No, hell no.
Too little.
Yeah, I still.
Here's
for the record. For the record,
Hey.
I'm probably being a little bit of an A.J. Brown apologist these days because I think people have written him off completely to the point where it's like, like people are throwing A.J. Brown away. I still think he's supremely talented, and I think that they'll figure out a way, one way or another, to get A.J. Brown back involved. It may need an offensive coordinator change from the Eagles in the offseason, but that, that can happen. Or I still don't think it's out of the range of outcomes that maybe the Eagles and Jeffrey Lurie start dangling A.J. Brown out there. Hey, who wants to trade for A.J.? Who wants to trade for A.J.? I know we've been saying that for a little while. They're not going to do it in season. But in the offseason, could they go, hey, Mike Vrabel, remember you used to coach AJ. You drafted AJ, and y'all need a wide receiver one pretty bad. Do you want to trade us that first round pick for AJ, or do you want to trade us a second round pick for AJ Brown, and then we can give him to Drake May and have your number one? I think people would go nuts for AJ Brown if he landed in a situation like that.
Yeah, I do think people are throwing him away a little bit. My suggestion, if the other guy's trying to flip AJ Brown, you definitely do not want to rush to make that decision during the trade deadline, because right now you are not going to get the right value for him.
Play it slow. You probably got to stick him on the roster the rest of the year, but in the offseason is when you start trying to have some moves potentially with AJ, or maybe at the start of next season before the games start playing and we get close to point scoring season and people are like, it was just a bad year for AJ Brown. We got a good year for AJ Brown coming up. Like, there's going to be people, you know what I mean? So like, you got to play it slow with him. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I can see the vision. It takes a lot of work. It's easy to look at the trade though and just say, give me Nabers, J-Mo in the second. I don't got to do any work with it after I get those assets on my team because I'm good. All of these guys help me rebuild right now.
Simple as that.
So that's why I'm taking that side. But for the guy, trying to bash the other team, that's my devil's advocate argument for him. That's as far as I can help you today. I am taking the Nabers side here. So let's move on to the next trade. 12 team, 1 quarterback, full PPR, start 10. You got a contending team who is team number 1, and he said the picks are both mid to late. So he trades away a mid to late 26 first, a mid to late 26 second, and Phil Maffa somehow got thrown in the deal. I don't know why Phil Maffa got thrown in the deal by any means.
So they're laughing.
I know somebody in the trade show said, who the hell is P Maffa? That's the level of player that we're throwing in. But somehow he got thrown in. So it's a mid to late 26 first and second for Chris Olave, Tank Bigsby, and Caleb Johnson. This one's pretty simple, pretty easy. How do you feel about Olave and those running back pieces for that mid to late first and second?
I mean, I think by default, I'm going to go with the Olave side because I do think Olave is worth a mid to late first and a mid to late second. I just don't care about Tank Bigsby or Caleb Johnson. I damn sure don't care about Phil Maffa. So, and the only reason I know Phil Maffa names because he's on my taxi squad on one of my teams. But yeah, I'm really looking at this as Olave versus Olave, and for its first and the second, I guess you can sprinkle a little bit of Caleb Johnson in there. I didn't believe in him before the season started. I think so far I've been proven right about my pain of Caleb Johnson.
I mean, we talk about the pains of Vrabel. There's also the pains of Arthur Smith, man. Like, that happens as well. So, I mean, I agree with you. I think Bigsby's like a handcuff option. Something happens to Saquon, Bigsby could be a league winner down the stretch. You're a contending team. I get it. Take the shot, whatever. It is handcuff season right now. Caleb Johnson, do you think maybe next year? Maybe he'll figure it out in year 2. Sure, worth the shot, I guess. But Chris Olave, to me, he's worth the mid to late first round pick. I have no issues with that. In the context of you contending, sure. Go get the piece in Olave who's going to help you win right now. I think the value's fine. The value's fair. On the other side of the deal here, if you're not a contending team and I can move Olave and re-roll him into a mid to late first round wide receiver this year, a Carnell Tate, maybe a Mekhi Lemon, you re-roll him into one of those pieces, and then I get to get a second round pick for Bigsby and Caleb Johnson and re-roll that, I think it makes sense for all parties involved.
Yeah,
this might be what you were trying to coin last week. What is it? The League FFB's fair trade of the day. Like, this might be the one.
Yeah, this might be the one.
It might be the one. I think the values all add up for me, so nothing crazy here. I'm going to take the Olave side just because I want the points on the roster right now as a contender, but I think it's a fair trade. 12-team Superflex, full PPR, start 9, contending team with CMC and now Derrick Henry. Trades away Breece Hall, 2/3, one in 2026 and one in 2027, and Jalen Milroe for Derrick Henry, a 28 first and a 28 second. So we are years away from the first round picks, but I got to ask you, it is a contending team with CMC and Henry. We are rolling out the 30-year-old running backs now at this point for the contending roster. It cost you Breece Hall, but you got Henry a first and a second. Is this good value? Is it worth it?
I don't like draft picks that far out, but what the hell, Andrew? What the hell? I'll take the Derrick Henry side. It's good draft capital. Breece Hall and this guy's a contender. He's a contender too, so he's going for the win. He's getting a little bit of value on the back end later in the decade.
The future insurance, yeah.
Later in the decade. He has some insurance later in the decade. And he's giving up Breece Hall. The danger of this deal, however, is something that I think we spoke about last week or the week before. If Breece Hall goes to agency and ends up like a Kansas City Chief, then this could very well be a lost deal.
It's the risk. It's the risk of it. And I'll be honest, we've even looked at the 28 class slightly in on some of these Dynasty Nerds draft videos we've been doing, but I get it. I get the deal. You're doing what you're doing. I think the deal's probably fair. You're right, though. I get Henry to help me win right now. After this season, I don't know what to think about Derrick Henry. I mean, we always talk about, like, are the wheels going to fall off? And I think we've seen some minor signs of maybe some regression from Derrick Henry. It's tough to tell because we get this little asterisk thrown in the deal where it's like, was it regression because Lamar wasn't in the lineup? Like, I think that kind of muddies the waters, but it's also going to be a running back who's way past the running back age cliff, and he's an anomaly. I get it, but I don't know, man. So if you get another year out of him, fine. I'm viewing Henry more as like a second-round pick these days as far as value goes. So to me, this is Breece Hall for a first and 2 seconds, the first and second being in 2028. It's probably fair value. I get it. Not a sexy trade. It's just fine. I think just fine for all pieces all around. No, I don't really have any strong opinions here.
Me either.
It's because the picks are in 28. Huh?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just too far to project anything.
That definitely pisses in the cornflakes a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the next trade. I do have this one here, which is a 10-team, 1 quarterback, full PPR, and tight end premium. They said they needed running back, and the picks in this deal are late. So you trade away Cortland Sutton, Tyrone Tracy, Kyle Monangai, and a late 26 first. You get Josh Jacobs and a late 26 second. So it's a package of a bunch of guys right now for Josh Jacobs to help you get that running back. How do you feel about that?
My gut tells me to take the side with Sutton, Tracy, Monangai in the first. But at the same time, okay, so the fact that I'm hemming and hawing about it, it's probably a fair deal. It's probably a fair deal. Like, because Josh Jacobs is a high value asset now, and you're getting the second, and you're trading away a bunch of lower value assets and getting the first. But at the same time, I could also see how the Josh Jacobs side could be the winner. So it's just,
I mean, this is the way that I would look at it, right? Like if I'm looking at pick value today, Josh Jacobs is probably worth that first round pick. Josh for a first, that feels fair. So now it's Monangai, Tracy, and Sutton for a late 26 second.
Okay, when you put it like that,
that feels like you're getting a lot of value on the other end. Now, here's the part of the deal that we're not accounting for. He says he needed running back. If you need running back, I'm assuming you're a contender trying to win. Do you need Monangai? Do you need Tracy as a contender? Probably not. They're pieces you're okay throwing in. So it's, yes, value you're going to lose, but are you going to miss it? That would be my argument, is you lose it, but are you going to miss it as a contender? I think from a value perspective, I'm going to say that the first round pick, Sutton, Tracy, Monangai, that has the most value on that side of the deal. But Jacobs in a second feels fine. You overpaid for a running back, especially one that just got hurt, and maybe this was made before you got hurt. You overpaid for a running back to maybe help you win right now. That's the only argument that I can make, but I think the value side, you have to go with the Sutton, Tracy, Monangai in the first round pick, part of this deal. But Josh Jacobs, like you said, he's the best player in the deal by far. To me.
Yes, and I think that's where my wires are getting crossed, because my initial just looking right at the deal is like, okay, the Sutton, Tracy, Monangai on the first side seems like the more value. But given his context, given the stature of the player he's receiving and the buffer for the second round pick, it's like, okay, so he's getting what he wants and he's getting the second. So maybe with the context and the value, maybe it's a fair deal based on that.
Yeah, maybe not fair. I think maybe the better verbiage would be it's a deal that makes sense for him.
Okay, yeah.
The value is off, I think, a little bit. You overpaid, which is fine. If you got to overpay a little bit, you overpay. I also think one thing worth noting, too, is that it is a 10-team league, so your late first could be 8, 9, or 10, which in a 12-man league is going to be more towards the middle of the pack. So you got to think about that too. You know, the 8th player off the board, 9th player off the board, 10th player off the board at worst, you're still kind of a little bit better off than you would be in a typical 12-man standard sized league. So overall, probably overpaid a little bit. It makes sense given your context. So deal makes sense for you. You overpaid. That's fine. You might not miss any of these assets like Monangai or Tracy, especially, if things happen over the next couple of months where we've had conversations in our own free time here, War, where you said you think Jeremiah Love would be awesome in Chicago. If they drafted Jeremiah Love, they were rumored to go in on Genty last year. If they go Jeremiah Love, how valuable is Monungai?
Poof.
Yeah,
I do a little magic there. Poof.
Like you might come in and get a couple touches, Kyle, but this is Jeremiah Love's roster if that happens.
Yeah, I think Jeremiah Love would be a bigger threat to the other guy, but I definitely could see where you're going. See, guys, I tried to be nice and constructive about a Packer, and Andrew just pushes it right back. See, you had your shot.
What did I do?
You had tried to say something nice about Josh Jacobs. Tried to give that deal tried to bounce out a little bit, and then
look, I like Josh. I think Josh is awesome. I think he's an awesome player. But yeah, I mean, value is value. Let's go on to the next trade here. We got, I think this is the last one of the day too, by the way. 12-team super flex, full PPR, tight end premium. You got a contending team who has the most points for and is the most in max points for. So basically all scoring, they are number one. They traded away Worthy, Marks, a 26 first, and Jayden Reed for Egbuka and Jalen Knoll. So as the number one contender with the most points scored, the most max points for, are you trading away all those pieces? Worthy, a first, Marks, and Reed for Egbuka and Jalen Knoll?
Hell freaking yeah. Egbuka, nothing on that other side comes close to Egbuka.
Play the game. When you start adding them up. Worthy plus what equals Egbuka for you?
Worthy plus what?
Yeah. How many of these pieces do you have to add to equal Egbuka?
Shit, all of them.
All four?
Yeah, all four.
So you got a free Jalen Knoll. That's what you got.
Yeah, that's what you got. Because I'll be completely honest. Jayden Reed, we both like Jayden Reed. And I do think that he's going to have a valuable role with the Packers going forward. Nowhere near Egbuka. To me, Xavier Worthy has already proven what he's going to be for the most part when Rashee Rice is healthy. And that's going to be a boom or bust player that, that stretches the field. To me, and I don't care what anybody says, Woody Marks' value is like damn near zero to me. There's a 0% chance that the Texans...
That's gonna piss a lot of people off. That's going to piss a lot of people off.
Well, get your diapers ready. He has damn near 0% value going forward. I do not see a scenario where the Houston Texans do not replace him in the offseason. He was not supposed to be the starting running back for this team this season. He benefited from Joe Mixon being washed, Nick Chubb being washed. And to me, honestly, all Woody Marks is the new Damon Pierce. That's all he is to me. He's just the new Damon Pierce. He's a guy who's getting an opportunity for now because, what else are they going to do? So, if it pissed people off, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But that's just what it is. Like, to me, I value Jalen Noel a hell of a lot more than I value Woody Marks. And Jalen Noel don't even have... Yeah, I'm going in, Andrew.
Yeah, you're just digging a goddamn hole right now, dude. The comments are going to come crazy.
They always do. And Jalen Noel, I love his upside. In this off. So yeah, man, Woody Marks, I ain't in on that boat.
Look, man, I have not been high by any means on Woody Marks. I don't think I've ever been that low, but I could see a scenario where Marks is the starter next year. I do see him more valuable than Jalen Knoll right now. I liked Jalen Knoll more as a prospect, as a player coming out. I'll admit that, but I think coming into this, a lot of the Woody Marks, I don't agree with. I think he's valuable in this deal. For me, it's going to be probably Worthy, the first, and pick your choice between Marks and Reed probably equals Egbuka. Even then, it feels like it's still maybe a little bit light. So the compensation, the value-wise, I agree with you. I think more so just the take. I don't fully agree with the Woody Marks take, but I think the values here, it's fine. Egbuka, Knoll, I prefer Egbuka. You're a contender. You have the most points for. You have the most max points for. Just give me the best player in the deal, and that's Egbuka. I'm going to be able to start him into my lineup every week. I agree Worthy's a boom-bust guy. Reed's probably a boom-bust guy right now that you can play as a wide receiver 3. Marks is a short 1 to 2 year window running back that you can plug in and play right now as a low end RB2. A first as the contender with the most points for and the most max points for, that's probably very late. So makes sense to me. I like the Egbuka side. But man, who would have thought we were ending this episode off with digging a trench to bury Woody Markson from MFGDs?
If you think Woody Marks is going to start for the Texans next season, that's like me thinking Kyle Monunga is going to be the starting running back for the Bears next season. Because
Why?
I feel like those are the same type of players. Woody Marks is what? Woody Marks got drafted. What? He was undrafted?
I'm not disagreeing. No. They traded up for Woody Marks to draft him
Which
in
round?
the draft.
Which round did he go in? So
Fourth
he's
round.
a fourth round running back. Fourth round running backs are born to be
for the
replaced.
record, the same round that Cam Skattebo was drafted in.
Yeah. It's Cam Skattebo probably got drafted too late. So
and I thought when Marks got drafted, I thought it was higher than he should have went. It was a higher grade than I had on him.
If you're going, okay, maybe my take might have been too strong on Woody Marks because
I'm not saying you have to walk it back. You don't have to walk back a take.
Well, I'm not going to walk it all the way back. I'm going to say if you're telling me Woody Marks is the backup running back to a superior running back, that's fine. I just don't think in the context of this trade, when you're dealing with a bona fide superstar like Egbuka, that he means much in this deal. Like if I was in negotiations, if I was negotiating with him and I'm the person who submitted the trade and they're like, okay, throw in Woody Marks, I'm like, deal. I'm throwing him in. I like no hesitation.
I agree with that, where he's not a big enough piece to make me like rethink a whole deal. No, I don't. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, so in that context, like he has no value. Like I would just throw him in like no hesitation, not even think about anything, because I think, me personally, I do think this is a 1 year value window for him where he's going. This is like, I feel like this is the only chance where somebody's going to say, "Hey, Woody, you're our guy. You're our guy. You're our starter." I don't think that the Texans are gonna like look at what they did to Dameon Pierce. And it's funny because when they had the Thursday night game the other night, they said on the broadcast team, they were talking about the Texans running backs, and they said, 2 years ago, we all thought that Dameon Pierce is gonna be, the starting running back for the future for their guy, and he was released today. Like, this is a team philosophy. Like, they do not value running backs that much on the Texans. So
I get it. I just think my only argument for why I think he could go into 2026 as their starting running back week 1 is because, one, I think we all can agree Nick Chubb is virtually dust at this point. It's gone. And love Nick Chubb when he was with the Browns. It's gone, man. I sold Nick Chubb for a 5th round pick in one of my Dynasty leagues the other day because I just don't see him being valuable. Like, I think Nick Chubb is trending towards dropping territory. Like, we're going to drop him off of Dynasty rosters. He's going to get cut. No team is going to sign him. If he does get signed, he's a 3rd string running back, is like a veteran guy in the room. Nobody cares. That's where I think Nick Chubb is trending. Joe Mixon, I can't tell you what the hell is about to happen with him in his future with the Texans. And then I think I look at this team and say, could you address the running back? Yeah, you could. It's a great free agent market too. There's going to be a lot of good free agents in this market that you could address it. But what are the bigger needs? This offensive line is putrid. You need to spend money and draft capital to improve this if you want CJ Stroud and this team to start moving. The defense is elite. We saw it the other night against Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You got to improve the offensive line. That is the biggest need. So dump your resources into improving the offensive line. And if you have extras, address the running back later. That's my only argument as to why Woody could go in as week 1 starter next year, is because they do spend all of those resources on the offensive line. I don't know if they're going to, but they should do that.
See, and that's the way I kind of look at it too. Because when I look at the Texans as a team as a whole, I'm like, okay, I think we have our quarterback.
Yep.
We have the wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, we have a serviceable tight end. He's not all that, but we have a serviceable tight end. Our defense is elite. When you look at the team of what the Texans need, their 2 biggest needs is literally offensive line, running back. So for me to think that they're going to completely go unaddressed at the running back, even if they spend the majority of their resources on the offensive line, I still think they're going to spend some resources on the running back room too. Because I do not think
that Joe Mixon was going to be healthy in the offseason, everything was going to be fine, he's going to show up to training camp next year, ready to go. Do you still feel like they need to address running back, or do you think Joe Mixon and Woody Marks is a good enough 1-2 punch that you're not worried anymore?
If I'm the Texans, I'm cutting Joe Mixon passing the first opportunity.
Moving on.
And I'm just looking at him as a sunk cost. Yeah. I'm keeping Woody Marks because,
It
like
cost
I
him what, a
said,
7th-round pick to get him anyways? It was a 7th-round pick that they traded for.
yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping Woody Marks because I'm like he would be a pretty good backup running back. He's a good handcuff. And then I'm addressing the offensive line. I'm addressing my starting running back position. And you know better than anybody, you can get a starting running back from anywhere. They got a serviceable one in the 4th round in Woody Marks. So I mean, I think you can get a running back anywhere. I mean, I could see them addressing running back in free agency because they don't have to spend any draft capital. I could see them addressing it like in the 3rd round of the draft after they use the first 2 picks on the offensive line. Like, I could, if they got a first. I don't know. The Texans do dumb stuff, so I don't even know if they got a first.
Yeah, I mean, we're speaking as if they have their draft picks. I agree with you. I don't know if where they are sitting right now, but I mean, I agree. I think this is a team that needs to spend some money on some offensive linemen, and you need to also use a couple of those picks on some tackles and some guys like that. It's a solid offensive line draft, by the way. Like, you can go in and address this and fix this, so you can probably do it. You got to go fix that first before everybody else starts humming, and I think that's just
not go there.
And that's the thing too, right? Like, you do have free agents
on the offensive line,
right? You have free agents of ETN. I think Swift is a free agent, right? Swift will be a free agent. Hall's a free agent. J.K. Dobbins is a free agent. There's a couple other free agents here. Like, it's going to be a pretty good free agent market. So there's a lot of guys. Other than that, though, give me the Egbuka side, best player in the deal, and that is it. A little bit of a longer episode here today, but it is what it is. We will cut it down and try and keep it about an hour, as we always do. As always, folks, if you found something today informative, entertaining, actionable, anything, you just enjoy spending time with us here for the trade shows, do me the favor, hit that like button. It is the best free way to show the channel some support. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We want to see that 7,500 subscriber mark. I'd love to see it by Christmas. We're a little bit away, but if you're seeing this for the first time, go hit that subscribe button if you're not already. And last but not least, go join our free Discord. That's where all of these trades were submitted. That's where we pulled them from. So if you want your trades reviewed, I know we're approaching trade deadlines, but as long as we keep getting trades submitted, plenty of them, we're going to keep doing these all year round. So they will keep coming. These episodes will keep coming as long as you guys keep submitting trades. So go do us a favor and submit some more trades. That said, kind of TBD next week on committing to a show with the Thanksgiving holiday. So we will kind of have a conversation about that off stream, but just know that there may be a chance that we take 1 week off because of Thanksgiving. Maybe not. We'll have a conversation. But at the end of the day, appreciate you guys for watching. Ward, you got anything for the people before we get on out of here?
Yes, I do. We are back. Come check us out on the Crimson Mass Show, and check us out on Crimson Mass Pro Wrestling. 2 YouTube channels, 2 different things. On the Crimson Mass Show, you're going to get more in-depth detail, more analysis from yours truly. And on the Crimson Mass Pro Wrestling channel, you're going to get short. So if you got a short attention span, you just want to see a 1-minute video, check us out on the Crimson Mass Pro Wrestling channel. And if you want some in-detail stuff about pro wrestling, you love pro wrestling, check us out on the Crimson Mass Show.
Hell yeah. Go show them some love, folks. Like I said, maybe see you next week for the trade show, but regardless, there's content all week long on this channel anyways. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one. Till then, peace out.